Yeah, so Sean Strickland, man. I just can't fucking believe it. That is a champion in the UFC right now.
Yeah, it's been a wild year. I think it's good though. I think it's good for the division. I necessarily don't want to see a rematch.
I don't either.
Um, I think it was a pretty clear fight. It wasn't close at all. I don't know what they do with Izzy. I don't know if they. I don't know who they give him. You can't give him. Let's put it this way: you can't give him the winner of Chimaev and Casa because I think it's going to be Chimaev, and I really think Chimaev steamrolls whoever is next.
Probably. You could give him
So
Dreykus, just a tune up for Izzy or Dreykus's number one contender spot.
yeah, well, he might get the Izzy. Yeah, he might get the Izzy fight. That might be his next fight, but it's not going to be for the strap. So he kind of shot himself in the foot by not taking that fight.
Yeah, that was dumb of him, man. That was
So
absolutely stupid. We lost on the Tuivasa bet, which sucked ass. Tuivasa looked awful.
yeah, but you know what? And that was an issue. Um, he was training locally instead of going out to Dubai.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to go back out to Dubai to train. Um, he's on what is it? Is it four fight now? Four fight skid?
I think it's three. Gan, Pavlovich, Volkov.
Okay, so three. So that means they're going to give him somebody like they gave Derek Lewis, and it's going to be ridiculous money for him to win by knockout, and we're just going to hammer the shit out of it.
Yeah, we are. He's gonna get it right. He's a UFC fighter. He's for sure a UFC caliber fighter. Just wasn't his night, man. He was getting to him with those leg kicks towards the end of the fight, though. He just once he got taken down, it was fish out of water sort of a deal. Which should have seen that
Yeah,
coming, but I didn't. I thought the leg kicks would be too much.
I thought the leg kicks, and he would have closed the distance and got in there and got nasty. But
Yeah, he didn't get
Vol-
nasty with it.
no, and you know what it is too. You don't realize how big Volkov actually is. He
Yeah,
looked like a giant in there.
he's both of us combined, too.
Yeah, he's at least what? He's what, 6'7"? He's massive.
Yeah, he looks taller than 6'7" for some reason. Like when he's in there, he just towers over everybody.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
This is a middling card today or this
I
weekend.
was this card, man. I was looking some of these is like, oh man, I don't know how they got sanctioned,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I agree on a lot of them to be honest.
that should be good for us. I see a couple that I'm gonna hit to win by finish because I think they should be pretty clear cut.
Yeah,
Um,
there's quite a few I can see finishing here. I think for this card, it's one of those where I'm gonna try to find two, three underdogs and call it good there, and a
huh.
few close favorites, and I'll bet. I have two bets here, so I'll probably do that. But for the most part, this is one of those where I think it's save your money and move on to better days because we got big cards coming up here.
Yeah, oh yeah. So right off the rip, we have opening fight for the prelims. Uh, Josephine Newton versus Marnik Mann. This one, I'm not. This one's kind of hard, and I know Newton. What what gives me pause is even though she's undefeated, she comes out of that Shemaev camp, um, and she's very heavy favorite. She hasn't fought anybody in the same caliber as Marnik Man. Marnik Man's fighting in LFA. She did lose on Contender Series to Bruno Brasil, but she also has a lot of good wins in LFA. So that experience, I think the LFA experience is much more. valuable than say the FCR and the UAE Warriors, stuff like that. So this one should be Knutson, especially coming out of the Chimaev camp, that All Stars Training Center in Sweden with Gustafsson is in there.
Yep.
Um, so there's a bunch of proven talent, and I don't think this gym, Montana Mixed Martial Arts, I don't think she's getting the same kind of training that Newton's getting. I'm not touching this one, to be honest with you. I don't even put this in the parlay piece. Nothing. Because I could see an upset here, but it should be Newton by decision. She's not a finisher.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree
and
with
that's
that.
that's kind of the scary thing where now you're going against somebody that has fought in the LFA and that she does have finishes. And she's 6-1, so it's not like this girl is a slouch, but it's a tough one. It's really really tough. I would definitely not be surprised if Man gets a win here. Hopefully it'll be a good fight. We'll see, but I'd say Newton by decision.
Yeah, so here it's one of those you have to decide if you want to go dog hunting or not. She's a big underdog here. Marnik Man is. She's got a dope ass name, the Sawed Off Savage, and she
Yeah,
and she comes out of the gym, which is MMMA, Montana Mixed Martial Arts.
yeah,
I don't think Marnik Man really gets me going enough to warrant a bet of any degree. Knudsen probably wins this. I probably does not look like a minus 500, minus 600 favorite. She probably gets it done just because I think she's a little bit better, comes out of a better gym. I watched her on Dana White's Contender Series and she got a win, unlike Man, who lost when she stepped up to the Contender Series. So I
yeah,
mean, I'll take Knudsen here, but I agree with you. It's kind of one of those where it's probably going to end up a little bit closer than the odds are showing right now.
yeah. I don't think it's going to be nearly as how the bookmakers have it as widespread as it is.
Definitely not. Oh man.
And yeah, this is one of the ones I'm talking about. You got Charlie Campbell versus Alex Reyes. So to begin this, Charlie Campbell is a heavy favorite. He just has a win in the CFFC. Before that, he lost on the Contender Series, and then he has a couple other wins in the CFC. And in Bellator, he was a Bellator guy. So with that being said, he is 4 wins in 5 fights. He only dropped one on the Contender Series. That was by finish. But all of his other fights, he has finished his opponent. The last 4 wins, I should say. I apologize. Alex Reyes, his last fight was against Platinum Mike Perry, where he got knocked out by a knee almost 6 years ago. So I don't know why this guy is fighting. He's 36 years old, hasn't fought in 6 years. I don't know what the game plan is here. He's coming out of Cage Combat Academy. I don't know much about it, but Charlie Campbell's also coming out of Cerro Longo or Longo Weidman. So this is another case of huge difference in gyms here. So and it
Yeah.
looks like this gym, um, Cage Combat Academy, they don't have anybody that's fought since 2000. One guy's an amateur. They have an amateur fight for one guy that's fought in 2023.
One
But that's
guy.
that's yeah, one guy in amateur fights.
Yeah.
So this is very very confusing. This should be Charlie Campbell by finish all day. I don't know why this fight is being made. And this guy Charlie Campbell's, if he wins, he's gonna finish. He's 7-2, right? So maybe because Reyes is 13-3, but you haven't fought. That's a lot of ring rust.
And you're
So
37 years old at this point too.
I don't get it. But if we're gonna try and take advantage of it, like I would like to, I want to hit Charlie Campbell by finish. It's probably gonna be minus 150, just from how long this guy has not fought. That would be a nice little parlay piece if we can get him by finish.
Let me see if they've put the odds out on that yet. But I'm pretty much in agreement with every
I would
damn thing
even
you said.
I would say knockout. I would go, and then you might get some. It might be plus 100 or something like that.
That's
I wouldn't be surprised if it's minus 120.
Yeah. I mean, let me look at this. Yeah, I think it's gonna be around even. I bet him by finish, him by knockout. I would I would say this Campbell kid should probably put an end to Reyes's long tenured UFC career, apparently, because he fought one time in 2017, and now he's fighting in 2023. So apparently he's been on the roster this whole time, I guess. He's 37 years old. The guy got knocked out by Mike Perry 6 years ago. Campbell, in that fight with Chris Duncan, which we've seen Chris Duncan fight in UFC, he had him
Yeah.
hurt too. He had Duncan hurt, and then Duncan landed. You can call it a Hail Mary shot. You can call it whatever you want. He landed a knockout shot while he was hurt. But this Campbell kid has hands. 28, coming into his prime. Feels like the UFC's given this kid a nice little. All right, here's a guy who's 6 years since his last fight. Go out there, knock him out. Another guy for Longo Weidman MMA. Another young kid with a decent record coming in here, getting a win, getting a knockout on a card where there's a title fight on it. It's not a pay-per-view, but it's a card with Grasso Shevchenko on it. So I think this is a tune-up for Campbell. I think this is a debut sort of a deal. They're going to give it to him and hope he wins. And I think he should. I think he should knock him out. I think he should probably do it pretty quick too. Within 1.5 rounds, I bet you he gets it done. Because Reyes, I mean, that picture of him that's up right now, it's a little pixelated. We don't know what the guy looks like anymore. He could have a mullet now. He could be fat now. We don't even know what he looks like. So we'll see.
Oh
Six
yeah,
years,
that
long
that
time.
photo that photo is from Glamour Shots in the mall
Yeah, dude, he's on
20
an
years
underwear
ago.
model there.
Yeah, I mean that's a silly fight. But like I said, we're gonna try and exploit it, take advantage of it, and take Campbell by knockout.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, this is very surprising that this next fight is on the prelim. Um, I think this is going to be a really good fight.
Me too.
Tracy Cortez versus Jasmine Jasdavicius. So this is really, really close. And you said the current odds have Jasmine minus 100.
I think she's like plus 100 right now. It's her plus 100, Tracy minus 120, I think.
So we've seen when Jasmine fought Miranda Maverick. Uh, she put that beating on her. She got messed up bad the first round, and then she came back and put it on her the next two and won the fight. Um, Before that, decision with Gabriela Fernandez, lost to Natalia Silva. Then she has a win over Kay Hansen and Julia Polastri, who I believe she just fought last night. Um, if not, a very similar girl with that name fought last night on a contender series. Looked really good against Miranda Maverick. Um, I'd say pretty good on the Fernandez fight, but Tracy Cortez had that long layoff after fighting Justine Kish, and then she fought Melissa Gatto, um, and looked pretty decent. I think we're going to get Tracy Cortez a win here, and I think it's going to be the same thing like um, what's her name? She just got divorced. She's amazing.
Um.
Huge threat in grappling.
Oh. Mackenzie Dern.
Kenzie Dern. I think what Tracy Cortez is going to do is she's 100% focused on herself, on her career, hitting the gym hard since her breakup with Brian Ortega. I think this is going to be a Tracy Cortez fight. She's much younger. You got to remember, Jasmine's already 34 years old. So, and Tracy's only 29. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to bet on it because Jasmine does have that dog in her. But I think Tracy is no Miranda Maverick. I think Tracy's good everywhere, man. So I'm gonna take Tracy on this one.
All right. Fair enough. I'm swinging the opposite way. I got Jasmine. A little bit of a bet on the money line at plus 100 because I think Miranda Maverick would do nasty things to Tracy Cortez. I think Miranda Maverick is a dog, and Jasmine outdogged her last fight, which blew me away. We had Miranda Maverick, a pretty heavy favorite going into that. And then Jasmine, took a little bit in the first round and came back and absolutely turned the burners on, pressured her, got takedowns of her own. And I think that's going to happen with Tracy Cortez. I think Tracy Cortez might get a takedown or two early, get her to the ground, maybe threaten a little bit. And then I think Tracy Cortez is going to slowly realize she's not going to be able to get her down in the second as well. And then Jasmine's going to start to come on. I think it looks pretty similar to the Maverick fight. And I think Jasmine comes out of this, at the end of the fight, third round, throwing flurries, pressuring her, on the front foot, Tracy Cortez on the back foot. And Tracy's not a very good striker off the back foot. So we're going to see, though, because Tracy's taking a year off. She had the whole ordeal with Brian Ortega. So I'm excited to see, did she develop her game while that was going down, while she had all this time off away from fighting. But I just know that I saw Jasmine Jasudavicius a few months ago look like a fucking savage out there. So I'm going Jasmine, and I think she could make clean work of Tracy Cortez. I think she could look like a pretty good favorite here. If Tracy can't get 2 takedowns a round for 3 rounds, I don't think she wins the fight. That's kind of, I think, and she's going to have top control with them, which is going to be tough too. But 2 takedowns around. She's got to have 2 takedowns for the first round and 2 takedowns in the second because I think Jasmine takes the third high clip and probably the second. We're gonna see though. I mean, this is a good fight. This is well lined. I think it's a pretty pick'em fight. It just really comes down to those takedowns from Tracy. If Tracy gets them, different ball game than what I'm talking about. If Jasmine stuffs them, Jasmine looks like a big favorite probably.
Now here's the thing though. Tracy Cortez is out of the same camp with Cejudo, Mark Madsen. So I think she's gonna be able to get her down. If she could stay on top of her, that's another thing. But I don't think she'd have a problem taking her down.
I
I
don't
think it's gonna
know.
be.
We've seen
I think
Cortez struggle with takedowns though. That's the thing. Is we've seen her in her level of competition has been pretty low, and we've seen her get takedowns stuffed. She's pretty relentless with them, which will probably be in her favor here. I just don't know how well her gas tank's going to hold up if she has to be overly relentless to get a takedown or two.
I'll be pleasantly surprised to see how this pans out.
Me
Um,
too. It's a good fight.
but do you think even if Tracy looks pretty dominant the first round, but is shooting 3 or 4 takedowns, you'd hammer Jazz the second, maybe third round, and
Yeah,
face Tracy.
I honestly think that's a pretty decently probable outcome is Tracy wins that first round, whether it's just pushing her against the fence or getting takedowns. I think that she probably wins the first. I just think Jasmine is going to be able to do exactly what she did in the Miranda Maverick fight because Cortez gets tired too. Like we've seen her in the third round be tired. It's just going to come down to that second round too. Who's got the gas in that? 2 minutes into that second round, does Cortez still have it left or does she not? It'll be a good
Yeah.
test for Cortez, in my opinion, because Jasmine, not a huge future in the UFC. She's, like we said, she's 34 years old, not really making a title run anytime soon. Cortez, though, 29 years old. She wins this fight. She just beat someone who beat a top 15, top 12 girl because Miranda Maverick was a top 15, top 12 fighter. So if Cortez wins this fight, she's looking at a top 15 person next. It'll be good to see. It'll be good to know if we have a fraud or if we have a legit top 15 fighter.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight though. I really do. I don't think it's going to be too one sided either way.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. Definitely not.
I think it's going to be closer than the Miranda Maverick Jasmine fight.
I'll be surprised if it is. I think Maverick's a better fighter than Tracy
You
Cortez.
think- Really?
I think by far.
So you think it's just the hype and the looks and stuff like that has gotten her not
Cortez.
gotten her where she is, yeah, Cortez, but just puts her in the limelight more
I just don't think
because
Cortez has a
her
good
and Ryan,
win.
you don't think she has any good wins?
No, I don't think she has any good wins. Let's go look at her record quick. Like we look at Melissa Gatto.
Justine Kish, Stephanie Egger,
Yeah, I don't think either of them are good.
Maria Akapova,
I don't think she's good
Aaron
either.
Aaron Blanchfield.
All right, that's a good win. That's a good win. Back in Invicta, I'll give you that one. That's a real good win. So yeah, she has that one. She's got that one.
I mean, Agapova, I like. Listen, that was Agapova. I mean, that was when she was. That was before, right? That was before. Um, yeah, that was before she was in UFC.
Yeah, that was
Oh
that
no,
was Dana White's.
that was that was on Contender Series.
Yeah, her and
So
Agapova was.
yeah, I that's pretty good. Stephanie Egger, Justine Kish. I mean, she did miss weight for this Justine Kish fight.
This is the step up though. This is the step up that she needs. Like if she wins this, I'll be ready to say, okay, Cortez is the real deal. I won't feel like fading her in the future if she wins this fight. But up until this, I mean, I haven't seen her look impressive in the UFC.
No, and it could also be recency bias.
Yeah.
So also, if she hasn't, that Gatto fight could have just been a get your feet wet, um, for taking the time off as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not too crazy because you remember she fought Justine Kish right in 2021. She did miss weight. And that was a
Yeah.
split decision. She had to kind of figure out what was going on, and then they gave her the Gatto fight. A year later. Um, so now she did win the Gatto fight, right? But took another year off. Let's see how it goes. I think she's gonna look good.
If she looks good after this, I hope she doesn't take another year off. Get back in there in 5, 6 months.
Yeah, I don't think she'll take that much time off. I could see her back in 5 months.
That would probably be ideal. Um, well, let's this next one here. Um, this is lamb to the slaughter, in my opinion. I think
This is another one of those. I'm gonna let you go, but this is another parlay piece for me for sure.
yeah, Lacerda. I mean, this is about as simple of a breakdown as possible. I think maybe of all time. Lacerda needs a knockout in the first round, and he has dynamic striking in the first round. You know, the guy, he's got some decent kicks in his arsenal. He's got, you know, nice hands. He's gotten close to a few victories. You know, let me look at his record here. Victor Altamirano, I mean, he landed some nice strikes. Francisco Figueiredo, he landed some nice stuff. So the guy has hands and the guy has kicks, but then he dies 3 minutes into the fight, not via, you know, a finish. He dies via cardio. He just, every single time, all of a sudden he's breathing hard, and then all of a sudden he quits.
Yeah.
And then Shirez, we saw him last fight against Tatsuro Taira. Dog. He has that
Yeah.
absolute savage in him. And so for me, pretty clear. Lacerda might look good for 3 minutes, might even win the first round. Who knows? Maybe he gets a nice shot in there. But Shirez is probably going to take it, move forward, and get the finish probably in the second round. And I think I will have money on him by second round finish simply because Lacerda has 1 round of cardio. And if we get lucky and Lacerda makes it into the second round, no way he gets out of the second round. Absolutely zero way. So easy. Lacerda, you know, early finish, or Shirez late. And I think it's pretty clear that Shirez probably is going to win it late.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Shiraz to get a finish here. I don't know if he's gonna knock him out, if he's gonna submit him. I'm comfortable either which way. Lacerda, I mean, he's been finished 4 times in his last 4 fights within 2 years.
Yeah.
Chira's Mexican guy fighting Mexican independence. He's gonna be fired up. He went a full fight with Tatsuro Taira. He did not get submitted or ground and pounded. I was very, very impressed by that. Um, I think it's going to be. I think it might be quicker than the second round. To be honest with you, um, but we'll see. We
Could
shall
be.
see. The only thing, yeah, yeah, he hasn't been. This the only thing that would concern me is if he gets knocked out, but he hasn't gotten knocked out yet. If he does lose, he's lost 2 submissions and then 3 decisions. So I'm not too worried about him getting knocked out, but definitely going Chirez by finish, and I'll put that with Campbell by finish as well, and then sprinkle some of these other fights that I'm pretty comfortable with.
Yeah, Lacerda doesn't have much of a submission game, so you should be good there. Shirez should not get submitted, and plus he just, you know, went 3 full rounds with Tatsuro Taira. So
Which is amazing if you think about it. If you lose a decision to Tyra, that says a lot. To be honest with you, that I think more people are surprised that you didn't get finished.
yeah,
So it's like, oh wow, that's almost like a win in itself. You could say
yep,
a little asterisk next to it that says I did not get finished, so I did much better than other people.
yeah. All right, this fight here is probably my most confident pick of the night, but I mean the odds he's minus 350 now, nearing minus 400. But I think Kopilov kills Fremd. I've been trying to fade Fremd his last 2 fights. Granted, with Jamie Pickett. So, you know,
Yeah,
think about that one with Jamie Pickett. But Kopilov, different beast. Guy's on a 3 fight win streak in the UFC. This is a combat Sambo champion. This is a guy who has figured out the striking realm of MMA and has been absolutely steamrolling people on the feet. He's got this snappy striking combination style, and he also has that kick that he just had in that last fight. I think he kills Josh Fremd at a very, very high clip. Maybe Josh Fremd gets a takedown early. Maybe he gets 1 or 2. But I think Kopilov puts this guy to sleep 9.9 times out of 10. I think this could look like a minus 800 type of fight. I don't think Fremd is very good, and I think Kopylov is still a little bit underrated, even though he had that big head kick. I think this could easily be a guy with hype around him, and Fremd could be a guy not in the UFC because I think he fucking sucks. So Kopylov by finish, I think it looks easy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Um, what we gotta see what happens. Friend also missed weight last fight, so he came in at 189 when he fought Jamie Pickett, and that fight went to decision. I think if he comes in on weight and cuts down to um, the actual weight that he needs to fight, 186, I think it's gonna be a quick night for him. To be honest with you, I think he's gonna get dropped.
Yep.
Just for the simple fact that this is the issue. You missed weight a month ago. How are you gonna make it now? How are you gonna go do first of all, you just fought a month ago, right? So you're not getting a full camp in. So how are you gonna come off a decision where you fought Jamie Pickett, you didn't make weight, and then you're coming back a month later? To me, this feels like it's another lamb to the slaughter, like you said, uh, for Roman Kopylov. I think he's going to absolutely butcher Fremd.
Yep. I agree. 110%. I think it's quick. I think it's easy, and I think even if it's not quick, I think he batters him.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if he. The only thing that would concern me is if he doesn't make weight. I don't see Kopylov taking this fight.
I hope not. I mean, especially because Fremd
There's
is
too
six
much.
foot four.
If I'm telling you, if he doesn't make weight, there's what's the advantage for Kopylov to take this fight? The kid's putting on, like you said, a 3-fight win streak. He had a major come to Jesus moment when he dropped those two in a row to Carl Robertson and Duraev.
Which are
So
two
we just
sneaky good guys too. They're not bad
I
fighters.
I know, I know, but once he realized, I need to stop messing around, we saw what happened. He's just straight finishing people now.
Yeah.
And we talked about that. Obviously a month ago we had the conversation about both of these guys.
Yep.
So it should be quick, especially with what we saw last fight. Um, I'm all in. I'm all in. That should be a lock of the week.
I think it might be. I think it might be the lock of the week. Roman Kopylov, baby. Roman
Yeah, the
Kopylov by
odds.
finish.
Yeah, I would say we have to do Kopylov by finish because those odds are pretty in much in his favor to win that money line.
Yeah, I think he gets it done. All right.
Oh, this is my girl. One of my girls.
This is it. All right, you lead us off then, Tim.
Lupita Godinez, otherwise known as Lupi, versus Elise Reed. Um, Mexican independence. Um, Lupi fighting out of Mexico. Um, I should say from Mexico. Um, very, very. She's almost like a little spark plug, man. I I love her style. She's a gritty fighter. Um, she did lose not that long ago to Angela Hill, but we also saw how tough Angela Hill actually is. So Loopy did lose a decision to her, but then right after that, she had a close fight with Cynthia Calvillo, which was a split decision. And then she won over Emily. I don't know how you say her last name. Ducote,
Ducote.
Ducote.
Yeah.
Um, and then you have Elise Reed, who's I think she's kind of fugazi. She did just have the win over Jinu Fred, but think I mean, she's 11-8 when you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Junior. She lost to Luma Lupumi. Love her too. She's amazing. Has a win over Melissa Martinez, and then a loss to Sam Hughes. A win over Corey McKenna. So she's put a lot of work in. I mean, both these girls, 5 fights in less than a year and 9 months for both of them. So they're putting in the work, and this fight is at what weight? 150? Is this 115?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it goes, but I think Loopy should handle her, no problem. It should be a good fight. Maybe Loopy wins by submission. But I lean more towards a decision here. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
I'm on the same side, man. I think Elise Reed is tough though, which sucks. Because I'd be interested in betting Loopy by sub here, but Elise Reed is just sneaky tough for some reason. I don't think Elise Reed is gonna win this fight. I think she probably just gets put on the back foot, gets clinched a little bit, maybe gets taken down here or there. Loopy has borderline Olympic level wrestling. She's one of those where it's top tier.
Yeah.
So I'm on Lupe here. I think it should look pretty easy. I think she gets it done by decision, and I think it's probably one of those 30-27s where it's clean and it's clear, and she moves on to her next fight. And honestly, probably gets a top 15 fighter next. I think she deserves it.
Yeah. And this is at what? This is at flyweight, or you said, or strawweight?
I think this is at strawweight. I think. Let me look. Yeah, it's at strawweight. Yep, 115.
Yeah, I think Lupe's just gonna. I don't know. I don't think she'll ragdoll her, but yeah, I say Loopy. If you want to go crazy, you could take Loopy by sub. If she gets on top of her, she should fish for something. Um,
Yep.
but most likely just decision's probably the safe bet, or just add Loopy in a parlay. Um, we might have to do a Copylov finish and a Loopy win as to sweeten up the lock.
Yeah, man. Whew. The lock, man. What was our lock last week?
Um, Last week?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. Let me look at last week's card. It'll come to me right when I see it.
Oh, it wasn't Tyson Pedro because he thought he would lose.
I did think he would lose. It was Olberg and Malarkey parlayed, and that did cash. So
Is
we're on a
it?
little bit of a
Yeah.
streak on the lock then, because before that we had
except
Giga.
except for the fact that Malarkey did not win that fight.
Hey, we don't have to talk about that. It was close, man.
Hey, the people that we needed to say he won the fight said that he won the fight, so I can't complain.
Dude, it was so close. I thought he lost too, to be completely honest, watching it live. But Sean Strickland made up for the entire night because he was fucking plus 500. That's crazy.
I've never seen DraftKings do anything that stupid in my life.
The boost, that was crazy.
I But the fact that I don't think people did it the same way we did it
Yep.
is bet both sides the same amount.
It's because they did not think Strickland had a chance. Everyone else didn't. So they didn't want to put, because, we had a chance to put 25 or $50 on Izzy and then the same amount on Sean, and you got that free bet on Sean to make like $200 or whatever. But most people didn't even want to bet on Sean. Like they just thought, oh, this plus 100 is free money. I'll just take this free money. So they didn't do it.
Yeah,
But we made out like fucking bandits. A free bet on
yeah,
Sean.
Oh yeah.
All right. We got
Here we here we
Fernando
go. Baby.
Padilla taking on Kyle Nelson here. I'll
I'm
start
not
it
gonna. I'm
off.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Before you started off, when I was looking at Tapology, I thought Messi was a fighter. All of a sudden, is this guy? Is this
Kyle
guy Kyle?
Nelson?
Is he related?
No, dude, he does not. Have you seen Kyle Nelson? He does not look anything like that anymore. He's bald now. He's
Oh,
completely
no.
fucking bald.
I don't know whether he was gonna go in there and start, dribbling with his feet,
Yeah,
or
bro,
if
he's
he was.
about to do a Maradona, and then
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
he does look like Messi. He looks like if Messi had a badass brother, like a
Yeah.
fighter brother. Mine is short and sweet here. I need to see Padilla win another fight. We just saw him. He came out of Fury, and then he fought Julian Erosa, and he won, and he looked great. Julian Erosa doesn't have a chin though. That's the issue. Julian Erosa's chin is made of fucking sand. So Padilla, he could be really good. He looked great. He also could have gotten an advantageous matchup in that UFC debut. And Nelson is not a bad fighter. He's not a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter. He just got a win over Blake Builder, which surprised
Mhm.
me. I thought Blake Builder was going to beat him there. And then he had a draw with Dohu Choi, which Dohu Choi, that's a decent fighter. He lost to Jai Herbert, Billy Q, and before that he beat Polo Reyes. Polo Reyes fucking sucks, but Billy Q, good fighter. Kyle Nelson, the jury's still out on if this guy is above average or below average. I think he could be live here. I will not bet it. I don't feel like betting it. I'd probably say Padilla is the side, but Kyle Nelson kind of scares me here. And plus 200, plus 250 to get in the odds on DraftKings. It's tempting. It's tempting. Kyle Nelson is also a specimen. Dude is fucking built. So I'll go Padilla, but this is my least confident pick of the entire card because Kyle Nelson kind of scares me. And I would if I had more balls, I might be tempted into a Kyle Nelson bet, but my balls are a little bit shrunk today. I'm not sure why, but all right,
um,
Tim.
I'm
There you
pretty,
go.
I'm pretty much with you. The only thing is I give a lot more credit to knocking out Julian Rosa in the first round. I think Julian Rosa is he's he's better than what his record looks like. He's 28 and 11. He's got the best nickname of Juicy J. Um, and he's a fighter's fighter, man.
Yeah.
Um, he's beaten Charles Jourdain, Hakeem Dawodu, Nate Landwehr, Sean Woodson. So Juicy J has put some, he's done pretty well. He's experienced, and that's what I like. Even though it was is very 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 quick, um, that's not an easy fight for a guy making your UFC debut. And Padilla is a finisher, which I like as well. Mexican guy fighting on Noche, the Noche card, who's a finisher, going against Kyle Nelson, man. I think I'm gonna have to go the Mexican side here. I might roll up a nice little Mexican parlay, um, because at the same time, Kyle Nelson's lost by knockout twice, and he's lost by submission. So we know he can get finished. Um, and he's got two not his last two losses. Were they both by knockout?
Um,
Did he when he fought?
he
Yeah,
lost to
Billy
knockout by Billy Q and then Jai Herbert by decision.
Herbert by decision. So I could see him getting finished. To be honest with you.
Here's the thing, man, is I also like Padilla is really long, and so is Jai Herbert. And Jai Herbert, We saw him go to decision with Kyle Nelson, but Jai Herbert won. And Nelson did struggle a little bit with the length. And so Padilla uses that length.
Yeah, it's a big. You're talking a 5 inch
Yeah.
advantage, and the height. I mean, granted, he's only 3 inches taller, uh, but yeah, that's going to be a problem like that. Jai Herbert, definitely for sure. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think Padilla is the side. It's just I'm so confused on Kyle Nelson if he's good or not. Like I see parts of his fights where I'm like, damn, nice job, man. Like that's pretty fucking good. And then other parts I'm like, dude, you might need to go to Cage Warriors, dog.
But he's also. I mean, this is the thing that confuses me as well. Why you're kind of. I think we're kind of overthinking this. This guy's got one win in 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is, I mean, that's a big stat.
He's got one win in 3 years.
Yeah, I still have Padilla in parlays. I still have him in two parlays, so
Yeah.
we'll have
We'll
exposure
see.
on Padilla.
This is the whole thing. I don't understand. I would rather see Cortez and Jasmine on the featured prelim, and then see Loopy open
Yeah,
up the main card.
I agree. 110%. I agree. It's like they kind of have
Um,
a little bit of a bias against women's MMA.
wow. When you think women's MMA, I always, and this is going to sound bad, I always go to Amanda Nunes steamrolling somebody, or
Yeah.
I go to the Rose fight.
Yeah, dude. The thing about women's MMA is auto betting those big underdogs. I mean, that's especially in title fights. Like that's been one of the things that you can do, but a lot of the time, yeah, a lot of the time it can be
Daniel
tough.
Zellhuber versus Christos Giagos.
This is a young
This
kid.
one, um, I really, I'm gonna. This is gonna go with the whole Mexican theme for me, to be honest with you. The only thing is with Daniel, I am not the Golden Boy. I'm not thrilled about his loss to Trey Ogden. But he did just have a win over Lando Venata. And then he also had a win over Lucas Almeida in the Contender Series,
Yeah.
who was pretty legit in my opinion. He is the heavy favorite here. I don't know what he is now. Topology has him at -250. Going against Christos, who just had a win over Ricky Glenn, knocked him out. But before that, Thiago Moises, he got sub by, and then Armin Sarukian, he got knocked out and ground and pounded. Which the both of those, the way he lost to Thiago Moises, understandable. And then Armin Sarukian, he is who we thought he is. And prior to that, Sean Soriano, he has a win over, and Carlton Minus, he's got a decision win. I'm gonna have to go with Daniel, the younger fighter fighting out of Extreme Couture. Um, they're on that hype train, man.
Yep.
Um, they're definitely on that hype train. Eric Nixick. So I think this is gonna be a good fight, and I think Daniel's gonna take it. I just don't. I don't have a solid reason um, for Christos. What do you think?
Oh, for me, the reach advantage is going to be huge again with Zellhuber. He's kind of a weird prospect. He's young. He had that loss to Trey Ogden, which Trey Ogden, I mean, kind of fucking sucks. So I don't know if I like that a lot. He was undefeated going into that too.
Yeah,
He bounced back though with Venata and Giagos. I mean, nice competition level. He fought Sarukian. He fought Moises, like we talked, and he's got some early round power. So I think we're going to have to be careful. Zellhuber is going to have to be careful that first round. After that first round, this could be one of those opportunities where you look for Zellhuber going into the second because Giagos could look very live in the first, and then Zellhuber takes over after that. But again, Zellhuber's got power. He's got setups. He's got good combinations. He comes out of Extreme Couture. Could be a steamroll situation where the kid is just developing at a level very very fast, and between fights could have picked up a few things and could get Giagos out of here. But I don't know. I think Zellhuber is the rightful favorite. I think the line is maybe a bit wide, but it could come back to earth after that first round. But I'm on the Zellhuber side here. He looks like one of my friends too, which is kind of weird. But I'm on his side here. 13-1, 6-inch reach advantage here. 6'1", 24 years of age. I think he's got everything going for him. So I got him here, and I got him, probably by finish. I think later in the fight, maybe second or third.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, when you think of having that win over Lando Renata, to me, that's that. I mean, he hasn't fought as much as Julian Erosa, but it's a vet.
It is like Julian Rossi to me. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean, he's already gone up against that veteran guy, and Christos is that same thing. He's just got Christos has a ton of mileage on him, man.
Yeah.
A ton of mileage, and that's the only thing that concerns me between the huge age gap, um, and then just the mileage. You're talking a guy that's got 30 fights.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, you gotta remember it's a fist fight, and there's two guys or two girls, so it's always going to be a 50-50 split, no matter what when they lock that door. But we have to go with the slight advantage with the reach metrics, like you said, and go with the golden boy here. I'm with you on the golden boy, but I'm probably not going to touch it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same here. I mean, maybe in a parlay or two, one of those big parlays, but nothing else for me. Big one
Oh,
here, Tim. Big one
this
here.
this guy. Um, this is this one to me seems um very. I don't know. This is. I want to say like they're making this a get right fight for this kid, Raul Rosas Jr. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this kid. Um, he came in there fighting pretty much nobody's. He fought Jay Perrin. He subbed him. He fought Mando Gutierrez. We know who Mando is. He's nothing now. So they gave him pretty much cans, and then he fought a guy that has some experience, being Christian Rodriguez, and he got broken. I don't think this is gonna be quite the same, but I still think he's too young. It wouldn't surprise me if Terrence Mitchell, um, if it wouldn't surprise me if he finishes this kid and chokes him out. Being 18 and being phenomenal and kind of thinking you got it all figured out, you get a reality check. He got it, 4 months ago. So, or 5 months ago. So I'm not sure if this kid worked on everything that he needed to work on and get sorted out before his next fight, fighting a veteran like Terrence Mitchell this fast, I guess you could say. So I might take a dart on Terrence Mitchell. It's sad to say, like I hope the kid does well, but I'm not a fan. You can't come into the UFC and say you're going to be the first three division champ when you're fighting, Mando Gutierrez and Jay Perry. So
Yeah, he was
Terrence,
17 though.
yeah, he's 17. He's 17.
Say
He
some
is.
shit.
Yeah, dude, this isn't wherever the fuck he's from. This is a whole other level. Um, and not for nothing, Terrence Mitchell is a fucking finisher. None of his wins are by decision. He's 14 and what? He's 14-3. So realistically, this could be a long fucking night again for this kid. He's got lost to Cameron Saman, who we saw, who's actually very legit. He's got lost to Kai Kara France. But before those two losses, so Saman was just in July. And then Kara France was an exhibition in 2016, and before that, his loss. I mean, he hasn't fought a bunch, but then you're looking at his other two losses were in 2010. So this could be another reality check, and if it is, um, I'm all about it, and I'm gonna take a flyer on Terrence Mitchell here. I'm fading this kid Raul Rosas hard.
All right. I'm on the opposite side. I think this is the bounce back fight for him. I do think Mitchell might be a little bit underrated going into this. I don't think the odds are justified because Rosas is now like minus 750.
That's
If you go
crazy.
on DraftKings, which not justified in my opinion, but I do think Rosas gets this one done. Just from a pick the winner situation or standpoint, I do think Rosas gets this one done. I think Mitchell comes out of Alaska, has a nice record against a lot of guys who are 4-1 and 4-2. Um, and I think Mitchell beats all those guys because he's just a little bit better grappler. But the issue is in his last fight, Mitchell gassed. And how long ago was his last fight? 2 months ago. Do you have enough
Yeah,
time to address that gas tank? And Rosas, I know he got whooped up by Christian Rodriguez, but the thing with
he
Rosas,
gassed too.
he did gas, but he gassed over three, and he still made it to the end after getting his face beat in. Mitchell gassed after 2 minutes and then got finished in that fight. So for me, I think Rosas takes him down, chokes him out in the first or the second. But like I said, that minus 750 is, it's screaming stay the fuck away. So I'm gonna watch this one, and if it's a get right fight for Raul Rosas, I'll evaluate what we're doing next. Are we fading him next? Are we taking him next? If Mitchell pulls it off, I might be a little excited. That would be pretty sick. But I think Rosas gets it done by submission. I just will not lay him by submission. Is probably going to be like minus 200, minus 250, something like that. And I'm not willing to even think about laying that. So it's a clear stay away from me. Um, but yeah, it'll be fun to watch. This will be a good one to watch because both these guys have a lot of submissions and are pretty grappling heavy.
I want to see how this kid reacts to his loss
Yeah, that'll be
on this
big.
on this on this stage. Um, I don't know why we're putting this kid up this high on the card. To be honest with you,
He's got a big
um,
fan base.
yeah, I guess.
He's big on Twitter. People
Oh, the
like him.
kids are people like him on the old Twitter sphere.
The old X nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know. I really think this kid's getting a reality check, and I could be wrong. And he can go out there and make quick work of the Terror Bear. But it wouldn't surprise me if they rocketed this kid up too high, too fast.
I could see it, man. I mean, I just don't know if Terrence Mitchell is that guy. Christian Rodriguez is a good fighter. He's a dude that I'll bet on in the future. Terrence Mitchell, though, probably not.
No, but at the plus odds, you got to take a flyer on him.
This doesn't feel like Sean Strickland to me, where it's the odds are wide and it's a good fighter. This feels like odds are wide and it's a bad fighter.
The odds are wide. The kid is so young, going against experience, and he's coming off of a loss. You don't know
Yeah,
how mentally broken this kid is.
that loss part is big. That's the part that could swing the favor. But if this
We'll
was,
see. I'll throw a couple bucks on it. I'm not saying go out there
yeah,
and I'm gonna put something on it that I am 100% willing to lose as a flyer.
yeah.
I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm confident in it, but with those odds, with the situation that we're in here, it seems like a perfect storm for this to just be a hype train. And the reality is, you're too young. You need to develop more.
Here's a question for you, Tim. Will you put a bag of coffee on Terrence Mitchell by sub
Yeah.
versus Raul
No.
Rosas by sub?
No. Oh,
No. All right.
no.
No, we're
No.
not. We're not doing that. All right. I was gonna goat you into one there. I was
That's gonna
trying.
be that. Okay, we'll do the coffee bet. I'll look at the coffee bet for next card.
Okay.
Next card, we'll do a coffee bet per card.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. This next one though is my dog of the week.
I think we both agree.
Yeah,
We both
man.
agree.
This is smash spot. This is Kevin Holland. 110%. This is Kevin Holland. Every single weekend they make this fight. I would bet Kevin Holland every single weekend. And the odds here say Kevin Holland is minus 115 and Jack Dilla is minus 105. But currently, Kevin Holland is plus 125, and I am smashing that. I'm smashing it if it goes to plus 130. I will smash it if it goes to plus 135 again. The reasons are 8-inch reach advantage, 4-inch height advantage. Kevin Holland can submit Jack Della. We saw Jack Della almost get submitted by Razman Ameev. And Jack Della, he has to knock people out. And what is Kevin Holland good at? Not getting knocked out. Kevin Holland almost knocked out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the early rounds of that fight. He had him hurt. He had him pressed up against the cage. He had him, he was swinging. He was swinging for the finish. Jack Della just went tooth and nail with this fucking guy. Who is it? Who's that guy? Basil Hafez. We might know him in the
Yeah.
future, but right now we don't know him. And I think Kevin Holland is, he's coming into his own at 170. I'm hoping, I would pray to God Kevin Holland grapples here. I don't think he will, but I still think he can win on the feet, and I think at dog money, it's going to look silly. I think he can knock Jack Della out. I think he can take Jack Della to a decision and win, and I think he can submit Jack Della. I think if anyone grapples here, it's going to be Kevin Holland. And the bottom line is, I think Jack Della has to knock Kevin Holland out to win. So Jack Della being the favorite, having to knock out Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland having decision, sub, knockout as all of his avenues. There's just so many more
Yeah.
ways. So Kevin Holland's smash spot, huge bet size for me. I don't have a lot of bets on this card. This is a big one, and this is my spot for the card that I'm planting my flag at.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm actually going to go a step further, and I'm going to actually uh, put it on Kevin Holland by finish. Reason being, even though he lost to Wonder Boy, they went to the ground, and Kevin said, "You know what? I don't want to. If I want to beat Wonder Boy, I want to do it on the feet." You know, and he let Wonder Boy up. If he could have finished Wonder Boy, I honestly think that if they fought and it was on the ground at all, we know Kevin Holland would have that advantage. So, with that being said, I don't really. I mean, he got stopped. Yeah, that was Wonder Boy's Wonder Boy. I don't. That doesn't hold that much weight on his record for me. Um, Nor does the Chimaev fight. So Granny's dropped 2 in his last 5. I think the win over Tim Means, Ponzinibbio, and Chiesa. The Chiesa one was really like, oh shit. He just went in there and choked him out. He threw that Darce on him.
Submitted him,
And
yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I faded him. I had Michael Chiesa on that fight. Um, Once I saw that, something's changing with Kevin Holland. I think he's more mature. He's realizing that if he wants to make more money, and as you mature, you're trying to figure out your future, plan for all this, plan for all that. He's starting to realize that he needs to be a little bit smarter um, in his approach to these fights. Whereas, you know, the better guys I beat, the closer I get to a title, that pay could increase. Those bonuses could increase.
Yep.
Um, and I think he's starting to understand that, as opposed to just taking, any fights and really not giving a shit and talking. You notice he has not been talking, not nearly as much as when he first started, and it's kind of fading out. At least that's the way I feel. So that's a big thing as well. He'll still chatter and shit like that, but he's not talking non fucking stop.
Yep.
And on the other side, Jack Della Maddalena, he already cut weight twice, fought a guy that they found behind Walmart, brought him out there, gave him a gum shield. Probably didn't look like he could pass a piss test, to be honest with you. Um, and he took it. He took it to him. I thought that could have been if Jack Della Maddalena lost, I wouldn't have complained. That was a very close fight.
Very close.
Then he flew back to Australia, and now he's flying back to Vegas. This is all within a month and a half. This is crushing his body. I don't think that he's on the same level. And that last fight he had was kind of bullshit. He did not look good at all. The weight was an issue. I even told you that weight cut was going to be an issue. I don't think his body's had enough time to recover. I don't think he's had enough time to recover. And this is going to be a huge step up in competition for him. I mean, his best wins, what? Rude boy Randy Brown?
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, fuck. Kevin Holland went in there and he didn't give a fuck. He went and took a fight with Chimaev. And it took Chimaev longer than I thought it would take to choke him out, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm all over Kevin Holland by finish, Uh, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I think that's what's gonna happen.
I just don't see how Holland doesn't go out there and jab his face off, man. Just keep him at range, jab him, leg kick him. And I hope Kevin Holland takes advantage of the grappling upside here because if he gets him in a clinch, I have no doubt Kevin Holland can get him to the mat and can hold him there. I have no doubt, and even possibly fish for a submission. Kevin probably won't do it. It's probably going to come down to, keeping his distance and holding that range and hitting him like a kickboxer. I just think Kevin can do it. I really think Kevin's a more talented guy here, and I think Jack Dell is a little bit a little bit of a fraud as well. 27 years old, doesn't have a loss in the UFC. He's going against a guy here who big name sorta. Kevin Holland's a big name sorta.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he fought Randy Brown. That's his best win. That's
Yeah,
his best win. He
exactly.
got he does have a win over Giuseppe, but that was a doctor stoppage due to a cut. I'll go back and rewatch that fight. But listen, I'm not trying to take away anything from Randy Brown, but it's Randy Brown.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is just smash spot. I feel like Kevin Holland plus money and him by finish is plus 250. I just looked for you. So,
Yeah,
not a bad bet at all.
yeah. So
Main event here. This is the title. This is one of those fight nights with a title belt on the line. Title fight.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Well,
weird ones.
no, it's not weird because it's. I mean, as bad as it is, the UFC's throwing this on a fight night because it's a women's championship.
Yeah,
Let's
that
be
is true.
realistic. The fight isn't going to pull in pay-per-views unless they piggyback it as a co-main event. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But I think it's just due to the level of competition. So here we go. We have the flyweight world champion Alexa Grasso versus the former champion Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh man, this feels like a big fight for some reason. It feels like we're either gonna see a changing of guard or we're gonna see Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena too.
I think it's going to be Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena too. To be honest with you,
I agree.
um, if you want, I'll let you start it off. My whole thing on this is pretty simple and sweet, so I'll let you fire it off first.
Yeah. Kind of. I think it's sort of that Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes too, where we saw a dominant women's champion go down for the first time in their title reign, and it was similar circumstances: takedown, rear naked choke, quick choke after being on the ground. Champ looked a little tired. Champ got a little bit complacent with their title. So similar circumstances there. I know Amanda Nunes got choked out sooner. Shevchenko got choked out later, but similar fight there. And then we saw Amanda Nunes come back and put it on Juliana Pena. And that was because Juliana Pena is absolute fucking dog shit. That's the entire reason that happened. So when going into kind of breaking down this fight and watching the tape and stuff, I was looking back and trying to be like, okay, is Grasso dog shit? Is she on the level? And I can go through her wins because I watched 4 of her last fights. I watched Macy Barber. She looked good. I watched
Mhm.
Joanne Wood. She looked all right. I watched Vivian Araujo. She looked all right. And then I watched the last Valentina fight. And so I took from those other fights that were not Valentina, I took, Grasso's legit. Grasso was also fighting a weight class down for some of those. So Grasso, I believe, let me make sure of that. Well, it doesn't tell me, but I believe she was fighting at 115 for a decent portion of those. But Grasso here, I saw in those earlier fights, she was looking good. She was not looking like a world beater, which reminded me of Juliana Pena. She looked good, but she didn't look like a world beater. Going into the Valentina Shevchenko tape, I was expecting Shevchenko to look like she was dominating the fight. It didn't really look like she was dominating the fight, but I did take away that Shevchenko is much better at her weaknesses compared to Grasso. Grasso's weaknesses are absolutely glaring. Number one is Grasso, when she gets taken down, lays on her back. Lays on her back. She had a
Yeah.
few get ups in that first fight, but for the most part, she's getting controlled on her back for a long period of time. And second, Grasso's striking is good, but she does not have the power that Shevchenko has. Grasso, she's going to have to out-volume Shevchenko, and Shevchenko's very good defensively. Grasso won that first round by out-voluming Shevchenko.
Mhm.
But I don't think Grasso can do it over 5 rounds. We saw that last fight going into the 4th round. It was 2-1 Shevchenko, and the live odds were like minus 1,200 Shevchenko. Shevchenko throws a spinning kick, gets fucking her back taken, and gets choked out. It was a terrible mistake. It was awful. It was a mistake, though. We talk about other champions. We talk about Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, and that's what I've watched my fair share of people talk about this fight. covering it. They talk about Usman being an older champion and getting, a mistake loss at the end of a title fight. I don't think those are very similar at all. To me, Grasso here, she didn't get lucky because she was putting up a fight, but I think she is very clearly the lesser fighter in this situation. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. Even in that first fight, I thought Leon Edwards showed that he was not a lesser fighter than Usman. And then the second fight, he confirmed that. But here, I just really, really think that Valentina Shevchenko is going to come out, get takedowns, use the clinch. She's not going to make this a fun fight. She wants to make this the fight that she knows she can win the easiest, which is get her to the mat. Hold her there, hold her in the clinch. And I think that's what she's going to do. I think she's going to take her down. I think she's going to tire out Grasso as well. I don't think Grasso has the cardio that everyone's talking like. She has the cardio, she has the cardio for a 3-round fight. I don't think she's got this great cardio. Everyone was talking she put a pace on Shevchenko that last fight. I didn't see it. I really didn't see it. So for me, it's Shevchenko, and that minus 160 I think is fucking clear as day that I have to take that. I get it, she's 35 years old and Grasso is 30. But Shevchenko has a well-rounded game, and like I said, I started this off by saying I think Shevchenko's weaknesses are still better than Grasso's weaknesses, and I'm going to end it with I think Shevchenko's strengths are better than Grasso's strengths, because Grasso's strengths are volume boxing, and I think Shevchenko's strengths are power Muay Thai and power kickboxing. And I think she's much better at that than Grasso is boxing. So I just think Valentina Shevchenko is a better fighter all around. I'm not seeing the Grasso, the new guard that everyone is talking about. I'm not seeing it as her being the new face of 125 women's MMA. I just really don't see it. And so I'm going Valentina Shevchenko minus 160, and I have a pretty big bet on that too. That's the other spot on the card for me is Kevin Holland and Valentina Shevchenko. So easy. I think it's pretty clear who's better.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, when we watched that last fight, it was the fourth round. So without throwing that spinning, and she was doing it multiple times, and I don't know why nobody told her to knock it off with the spinning shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They even said it on the commentary. Valentina is spinning. She's throwing these spinning moves, and Grasso figured it out. Valentina made a mistake, and she got choked out. Understandable. I think Valentina's fight IQ is too high to make the same mistake again. I think it is that similar Amanda Nunes thing where you're so dominant for so long. You just try and do highlight finish shit to make it more exciting. I don't know why she was doing the spinning stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But if she didn't get choked out going into that fifth round, it's 3-1 Shevchenko. So this should be an easy one. I think now that she's got that extra drive of not having the belt, I think she's going to go in there and beat the brakes off of Grasso, to be honest with you. So this is going to be the only Mexican fighter I'm not going to put in my Mexico parlay, just for that simple fact. I mean, we're talking about Shevchenko. There's the conversation of, even though they fought, who is the best? Is it Shevchenko? Is it Nunes?
Yeah.
They did fight, but you also gotta understand. Look at the difference. Shevchenko is a true 125er, right? And if you look at Amanda Nunes is 135er, but yes, she's fighting 145 or was fighting 145.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it, but she's a weight bully. That's, you know what I mean? Shevchenko's gonna make. I think she's gonna make this look stupid. She's gonna make this look silly. I think she could finish Grasso, but I don't know if she wants to put on that same performance of Amanda Nunes, where she just beats the absolute shit out of Grasso for 25 minutes. I could see that happening as well.
I have a sneaky parlay, Tim, that I already placed actually. But I've decided that Shevchenko is going to be my lock of the week.
Shevchenko. Yeah, I mean
Shevchenko.
that's fine.
Here's my
I
parlay.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Totally.
So I've got Kevin Holland by submission
Ooh.
paired with Valentina Shevchenko by knockout. And that puts us $10 pays $320. It's my sneaky parlay of the week. It's just a little bit of one that is probably not going to hit because those are two things that are pretty heavy plus money, but they're two things I think could definitely happen.
Um, this is something that I like, and you could probably cash it out if the first couple hit. Charlie Campbell by finish, Edgar Chirez by finish, uh, Kopylov, Loopy, Holland, and Valentina.
I like that. I do
That
like
should be
that.
that should be pretty chunky. If you want to get spasa, throw
You
in a
want to
Kevin
get
Holland finish
spicy.
or Kopylov finish.
I do like that. Let me look. Let me look at this. I can pull up the odds for us here in a sec. My DraftKings is being slow. All right, so we were talking Campbell by finish though. That's not up yet. I'm just gonna do money line for that for now. But
Yeah.
just know that these odds will be better when you do finish.
Oh,
Campbell, Shirez, Kopilov, Godinez, Kevin Holland, and Valentina.
was it plus 700?
Plus 850. And then if you add in those by finish, I bet you that thing will get up plus 2,000, plus 2,500, that sort of a
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. That's not that's not bad. Throw 20 on it.
Yeah, that's not bad
The
at all.
chances. I mean, you're talking about one guy that all he's been doing is getting knocked out every time he gets in there, or finish every time he gets in there, and the other guy hasn't fought hasn't fought since you know what I mean. Bill Clinton was getting.
6 years,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bill Clinton was in office, so I'm pretty comfortable with the outcome on that.
Cool.
I mean, realistically, the card is not bad. I don't think it's great. It's got its spots, but
There's a few
uh,
sneaky good fights. Like the Cortez fight should be fun. Kopilov, seeing him should be fun. You know,
this is actually at T-Mobile.
in Vegas, right?
Yeah, so I didn't know it was in the arena. That should be pretty electric. I think they're gonna have you have to if you wanna do it, you do the Mexico parlay. I think that should be pretty good as well. I mean that's Charas, Gudinez, Padilla, Zellhuber, and then I would just do those. I'd leave Grasso off.
Yeah, I like that. Grasso, I think, is
You
getting
gotta
a
you
should
gotta
be.
do. Listen, I know we didn't do it. We didn't do it last. It didn't hit last week with the Aussies, but the France card did. The
Canada did.
card. So I'm going right back to the well. Even though this card is in Vegas, I think they're gonna show out.
Because it is Independence Day for the
Yeah,
Mexican fighters.
yeah. And then what do we got coming up next week?
Next week, let's look here. UFC.
Oh, Fazeev versus Gamrot.
Oh, dude, you already know my opinion on that.
That's gonna be. This one's gonna. We already got the coffee bet.
Oh, we got the coffee bet. All right, and then we got
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell in the co-main there. Got Marina Rodriguez on that main card. Brian Battle.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a big Brian Battle fan, man. To be honest with you.
I'm not either. I think he got lucky in that last fight, but whatever is what it is. Um, yeah, and then after that, we got a stretch of two subpar fight nights. We got Dawson and Brown, or Dawson and Brown, Dawson and Green, and then Yusuf and Barboza. Then after that, though, it's the big dog. It's that Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira, Hamzat, Magomed Ankalaev, and Johnny Walker. Tim Elliott fighting Muhammad Makayev. Like, that's a banger of a main card.
That's a really good card. That's gonna be a fun one.
I'm
That's gonna be
psyched.
a that's gonna be a real fun one.
And then we got
And did they
my big bet after that, Jalton Almeida versus Curtis Blades.
and they still haven't announced anything for December.
No, dude, that's coming up. That's
I know, and this is the problem. I don't want them to throw shit together like they did for this one in Australia. They can't afford to do that.
yeah,
So
bro.
they need to.
They need to just do Covington Edwards. Like throw that on there, and then throw
I
another
don't
title
know.
fight on there.
I don't even know what the problem with that is. I don't even know who's fighting at 170. That's fucking worthwhile to watch right now.
No one, no one at 170 except for Kevin Holland and fucking Jack Della Maddalena are fighting. There's not
And
another top 10 welterweight fight booked.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know why nobody in that division isn't saying anything. Like, how is everybody just sitting there? Like, they don't. Fuck. How about an interim belt? That they got no problem.
Yeah, bro. Where's Bilal Muhammad? Where's fucking Stephen Wonderboy Thompson? Like,
They're
where are
not.
all these guys at?
They're not saying anything.
It's weird.
It is weird. Just like I heard that Sean O'Malley has a fight, and I think they're gonna announce that soon. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're the co-main. Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto is the co-main for December.
We're also waiting on Alex and Yuri. That should be getting announced.
Maybe they'll do Alex and Yuri as the main.
Dude, I mean, we might have to watch separately that night, Tim.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We'll do. You know what we'll do? If the winner, whoever wins, has to do that'll be the coffee bet. If your guy wins, you gotta send a bag of coffee. So
Yeah, so someone's sad, but they get coffee.
you're sad and then you're happy.
Yeah, bro, you'll be eating Brazilian barbecue, and I'll be having fucking sausages.
Just a regular old day for you then.
Just a regular old day. You're right. You're right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thanks.